welcome. Right this way.
House to half, go. Pre-show recording, go.
Welcome to Cape Cod Theater and the first episode of The November Project. Please take a moment to note the emergency exits behind you and in front of you to the... Wait, you're at home. Never mind. But you might want to shut your cell phones off, just so you can enjoy the performance like you would right here in your most comfortable seat at the theater. We want to reassure you that no actors were harmed in the making of these videos. People you see in close proximity to one another are either in the same family or in the same social bubble. Bubble. Who knew we'd be using this word so much? Tiny bubbles in the sea. Well, you get it. Anyway, we're delighted you're with us. We hope you enjoy the show.
House out, go.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world can be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world can be as one.
Before justice will come. It's a matter of time, yeah, until all wars will be done. It's a matter of time before wrongs will be righted. Just a little bit of time, yeah, for all people will be united. It's a matter of time. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. It's a matter of time, anytime. This is a song about peace. Just a little bit of time, yeah, until freedom will be free. I don't mean about one side beating the other side. I mean no more sides. I'm talking about unity for all people. Oh, just a matter of time. I can't wait to watch another. Frustration's near its end. I can't hang 'cause I am stronger. It's a matter of time. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Soon there'll be a peace of mind. In just a matter of time, yeah. Will this world ever get better? It's a matter of
Oh, the trouble with time. He said the trouble with time, it only runs in one direction. If you had a car like that, it never passed inspection. And that's the trouble with time. And that's the trouble with time. son, but it ain't just you. We're all in this river, we're all in the flow, and the only way out is with a tag on your toe. But there's sharks in the water, and the damn GOP. One or the other, you're gonna be the devil of me. It's just a matter of time, and that's the trouble with time. You can take it, you can make it, but you're never gonna shake it. That's the trouble with time. Well, I went to the graveyard to pay my respects. I saw a man digging holes saying, I wonder who's next. That's the trouble with time. And that's the trouble with time. You can take it, you can make it, but you're never gonna shake it. That's the trouble with time. Well, I went to the hoodoo man to ask his advice. He said, you ain't James Bond. You don't live twice. You may be a rich man, you may be a king, but when your time comes, it won't mean a thing. Not a thing. Bobby said time is a jet plane that moves so fast. I said time ain't nothing but a pain in my ass, and that's the trouble with time. That's the trouble with time. You can take it, you can make it, but you're never gonna shake it. That's the trouble with time. You can use it, you can lose it, but you never get to choose it. That's the trouble with time. You can race it, you can pace it, but you're gonna have to face it. That's the trouble with time. That's the trouble with time. That's the trouble with time. That's the trouble with time.
Shame on us, all your sons and your daughters. Leave all your gold and we poison all your waters. Every piece of our soul is for sale now their borders. Think we know it all, then look at where it got us. Oh, mama, mama. Oh, mama, mama. We're crying to the wind. Trying to play God, we've been fucking with genetics. All that you have given and we only disrespected. The rate that we're going premature, I'ma get it. That's what's gonna happen if you let it. Oh, mama, mama. Oh, mama, mama. We're crying to the wind. Is there any saving us? We've become so dangerous. Is there any change in us? Even for the sake of love. How you gonna kill your mama when only mamas
far-off land, there lived a beautiful butterfly. In a kingdom full of blossom-covered trees. And winding through this paradise, a river danced along and played with the constant summer breeze. The butterfly found a tiny branch by the riverside and watched the water rushing who knows where. Carefully he sheltered from the power of the breeze, for surely it could toss him through the air. I'm a butterfly, he said, trivial and small, and in the greater scheme of things I don't mean much at all. So I flap my wings to stretch myself and just enjoy the view. I'm a butterfly, what more can I do? One afternoon, the butterfly asked the river, Madam, what makes you hurry so? What splendid destination are you rippling toward? Where, oh where do you go? The river said, I'm headed for the ocean, and the summer breeze inspires me to race. My friend, you love the ocean, it's remarkable to see. Won't you join our friendly chase? I'm a butterfly, he said, trivial and small, and in the greater scheme of things I don't mean much at all. So I flap my wings to stretch myself and just enjoy the view. I'm a butterfly, what more can I do? So the butterfly, he dreamed of the ocean. He longed to flutter high above the seas. But there are dangers in the sky for a tiny butterfly. So from his branch he asked a question of the breeze. What makes you chase the river toward the ocean? And the breeze told him a most amazing thing. I'm simply made up of the currents in the air that start from the movement of your wing. Your tiny wing, you're a butterfly, my friend, powerful and strong, and I'm grateful for the way you always hurried me along. When you flap your wings to stretch yourself, it might seem small to you, but you change the world with everything you do. So he spread his wings and took off from the safety of his tree. And the butterfly finally saw the sea.
He's like the sun I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the summers die one by one. How soon they fly on and on. And I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He's young, he's only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
November. It has great significance in my life. That funny month, right before Christmas. I have two sisters born in November. I love Thanksgiving. No gifts needed to be given to each other, and we just pig out and watch football. And over 160 years ago, there was a great event that took place in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that now. It was Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a greater sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead here who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little know or long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated to the unfinished work which those who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we hereby resolve that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, November 18, 1863. Fast forward 100 years and 4 days, And in Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated. I was in the 9th grade, and I remember very clearly, as I imagine everybody that was alive then, my age or a little older, a little younger, could remember where they were. He was very inspirational in my life in that for many reasons, but he was the first and only Irish Catholic president we've ever had. Being Irish Catholic, living in an Irish Catholic neighborhood, going to an Irish Catholic parish, that had great impact on me. And John F. Kennedy created the United States Special Forces, the Green Berets. And when it came my time to enlist, which I did do, I joined the Special Forces and became a Green Beret. Fast forward to November 11th, 1970, and I stepped foot on U.S. soil for the first time in a year after being in combat as a ranger fighting in the mountainous jungles of northern I Corps, which is on the Laotian and North Vietnamese border, which was then, at the time, South Vietnam. I had the great honor and distinction of working with some of the finest men, and they were the funniest guys I ever lived with. And they were the bravest, toughest, and dedicated people I know. Many of those men were black, and many of those black men were my dearest friends. They used to call each other black men, Bloods. And I had the honor and distinction of being called Blood by them. Not too many white guys had that. But to me, they were my Bloods, my brothers, and I loved them. One guy, a good friend named Jack Moss, was from a sleepy town in Alabama. Handsome, tall, over 6 feet. And his closest friend, who was from Tennessee, Dave Parrott, a little white skinny kid, they met in basic and became fast friends. They went through basic, advanced infantry training, jump school, ranger school, and then in Vietnam. They were inseparable. Well, Parrott started to lose his nerve a little in the bush under combat situations, started to get the shakes. So we as a company decided to take a vote and pull him out of the bush for a while, give him a break, and assigned him to driving the mail truck, which was really just a Jeep. He would jump in it in the morning, go down to headquarters, pick up the post, and bring it back to us, and we desperately needed those letters from home. And Jack had a fiancée that that's all he talked about, going home and getting married to this beautiful woman. Dave pulled up, gave us the letters, and Jack opened up his, and usually his letters smelled like perfume. Really, they were flowery, and we used to kid him about it. This one had no perfume, and he opened it up, and I saw his face change as he was reading it. And then he turned around, walked a couple of steps down into the hooch, which was just an open barracks hut, really. Had no doors on it, just walked through, and door in the front, door in the back. And I watched him walk through, and then he stood in the back, and I saw his silhouette with the letter down at his side. And then he just disappeared down the steps and down to the bunker line, which separated us and our compound from the jungle beyond. And he sat on a sandbag and put his head in his hands. Turned out it was a Dear John letter. His fiancée had met somebody else and was going to get married to that guy. Well, Jack was a point man on a 5-man ranger team. 5 guys out in the bush, completely camouflaged, doing intelligence gathering. It was very dangerous work, and he was a great point man. He could figure out if there was a booby trap. He could see things that other people couldn't see. And we used to joke that he could probably smell the enemy 100 meters away. Well, this particular mission, we all figured his head wasn't on right, maybe for that Dear John letter. And he walked his team right into an ambush. And when that enemy opened fire, ironically, it wasn't the enemy that got him. It was his fellow teammate, the assistant team leader behind him, who had his automatic weapon on automatic, and when they started opening fire on him, he just fired back and practically cut Jack in half, ripping him up the back. Jack was dead before he hit the ground, we assumed, and I think a part of that assistant team leader died that day as well. Well, we took another vote, which was really unusual. We decided to send somebody home with Jack's body. I never remember anybody else being escorted home before or since Jack. But we took a vote, and it was Dave Parrott, his close friend, that we decided to do that. Usually we just zipped guys up in body bags and sent them off and never saw them again. Well, Dave went to that sleepy town in Alabama, and after the service, the good old white folks from that town informed the family that Jack couldn't be buried in the white cemetery. That he had to be buried in what they would call, and I'm not going to use the N-word, but that was the field that they were designating Jack, this hero, to be buried in, the end field. Needless to say, this didn't go over too well with Dave Parrott. He wanted to burn that town to the ground, and it wasn't except for the graciousness and kindness of Jack's family that calmed him down and sent him peacefully back to war. Peacefully back to war. Well, Dave came back and regurgitated that story to us, and he was no longer interested in driving the mail truck. He just wanted to go back out in the bush and hunt NBA, as we all did. Fast forward, it's 2020. I was 20 years old in Vietnam. I'm 70 now. You do the math. That was 50 years ago. And because of BLM, Black Lives Matter, a small, sleepy town west of Dallas, Texas, Mineola, Texas, finally, under pressure from all the demonstrations and protests, finally took down the fence separating the white cemetery from the black cemetery this year. That's a long time from Gettysburg. This November, I'm going to execute my constitutional right and vote. I feel it's very important so that this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
I see your hand by your side. I take your hand, lead you outside to see the glory of the lights over Astoria, those pictures that you mounted by the door. I can't give you what you had before, but I can sing glory of the lights over Astoria. I know you are alone. I know you can't come home. Bells ring, angels rushing through the town, down the stair in the cold and the chilly air. The bells ring. Children are singing out of key in debris, happy in the frost in the parking lot. The bells are ringing, children singing, welcome, hey, 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 hey. Astoria.